All reverse mortgage lending is local. So how will home values perform in your market? Welcome back and thank you for joining us. Last week we spoke with Dan Holtquist from Understanding Reverse on the LIBOR index rate to which all federally insured reverse mortgages are keyed and why that index was frozen for 2 months. And a few weeks before that we spoke with Martin Andelman. He's with Mandelman Matters. Now we addressed the proverbial elephant in the room with Martin, asking about home values, but more specifically if we were going to see a crash in housing values as a result of the COVID-19 or coronavirus pandemic. Andelman does believe that home values will drop and significantly, but that's not going to be a quick rundown. And he explains it this way.
Home prices do not fall quickly. They never do. They always fall. It might take a year for the drop in home prices to be reflected. And the reason for that is that nobody puts their house on the market for $500,000 today and then next month says, nah, bring it down to $350,000. That never happens, right? You put your house on the market for $500,000. Then you wait a month. And if nobody buys it, then you call your realtor and you go, maybe let's lower it to $475,000.
CNBC reported in April that home values will be under pressure in regions of the country that are being heavily dependent on leisure and hospitality industries. UBS also in their most recent reports does mention Las Vegas, Miami, Florida, both which did suffer a significant crash in housing values during the subprime crisis in 2008. However, the headwinds of the housing market are not being limited to quote-unquote convention cities. In fact, landlords in high-rent cities such as San Francisco and New York City are also feeling the squeeze as being a landlord and a homeowner of the property. Home purchase prices and rentals are directly influenced by the local economy, the unemployment rate, housing inventory, just to name a few. And with many of our states essentially freezing all of the real estate and its construction industries by classifying them as ironically non-essential businesses, appraisers were unable to inspect the homes or the properties, and home construction activity came to a complete halt. And that further added pressure to the housing marketplace. Uncertainty destroys value, said Ken Johnson, an economist at Florida Atlantic University. The more uncertainty there is, the more a potential buyer will discount the value of the home. But what about median home values? Barron's reported that low housing inventory actually drove the median home price to an all-time high. That came as a surprise. That in the midst of a pandemic and economic shutdown. The National Association of Realtors, or NAR's, April existing home sales report, which was released mid-May, it found that the national median home price reached a new high across the country, $286,800. But what's more interesting is a flash survey that was also conducted by the National Association of Realtors in early May. It finds that 42% of buyers and 51% of the sellers say they're planning to postpone the process due to the pandemic and the surrounding economic uncertainty. And there's that word again, we're hearing it often in the news. But how should you proceed today? That's the important question, so you're fully informed as to where prices may be trending in your particular market. First, reach out to your local real estate professional and ask if they'll share some of their local market reports for housing inventories, pricing by region or neighborhood, and of course the sales transaction history. And you could also reach out to your title company. If you haven't, that is a good place to start. Your title companies have several reports which can provide insight into local real estate trends. And next, if you see that high valued home prices are dropping today in your particular market, it could be a wise choice to actually target your marketing to those homeowners because you're going to help them secure the best possible sales price before they're left with a regret of reducing their asking price repeatedly. So keep in mind, you're actually throwing them a lifeline, and it's going to help them weather the economic uncertainty that does lie ahead. How you arrive at the solution, at least with the homeowner, is going to depend on both their short and long-term goals and their monthly cash flow, and perhaps aging in place as their existing property suitable for that. Is the housing market poised for a crash? Well, most likely not. However, prices will be adjusting somewhat and more significantly in certain regions across the United States. Is your market one of them? If so, now is the time for you to develop your game plan And just before we go, I want to remind you, check your email inbox today. There you should find our monthly Top 100 HECM Lenders Report. Hopefully this month we're going to see a full recording of pending or backlogged endorsements. That's a wrap for us here. Please share this video with other professionals. You can do that using the links on this page. And if you're on YouTube, click on the subscribe button so you never miss an upcoming episode. Have a great weekend and be sure to return here next week for more reverse mortgage news, commentary, and analysis.